when I came out to them, they had my back to a degree I never would have imagined. They proudly stood up for me around campus and in the fraternities, and they set the tone at the college. And there were no homophobic slurs allowed around them. I told you about my dad and how he had demonstrated such blatant homophobia growing up. And because of that, I was so frightened to come out to him. But when I did, he received me with so much love. It was wonderful and very confusing at the same time. I've come to realize that my dad is a passionate person with strong opinions, but those opinions aren't necessarily always based on much, and they can be changed. They're not fixed. In the past, he could tease a gay person and it didn't mean much. But now it was real. It was his son. The son he was so proud of. The son he would travel to Duke and Notre Dame and Syracuse to watch play and support his team. So he started to do some reading on his own about parents with gay children, and he soon became a vocal supporter of gay rights. You know, he had always done the best that he could within what he knew to be true. And now I presented him with a new truth. And the best that he could do was support his son wholeheartedly. And now he's still just as passionate and as much a champion of his children as he's ever been. Now, earlier this year, a few student athletes from the prep school Northfield in Herman reached out to me, and they explained that they felt very intimidated and uncomfortable in the locker rooms in their school. And of course, I could relate. So I got together with a few friends who I've been working with, going around the country sort of with the goal of ending homophobia in the schools and in the sports teams. And so we went out there to see if we could do something about it. So we had the opportunity to meet with coaches, administrators, dorm parents, everyone out there who really cares about the well-being of the students. And we were really prepared to go in there. We figured we'd sit down for about 30 minutes and just lay down our argument. We'd explain to them that there's a problem at their school. We'd use examples from our own lives and really convince them. And then we thought, well, there might be a few minutes left to discuss maybe what can be done about it. But this is not how it turned out at all. So about 3 or 4 minutes into it, this coach just raises his hand and says, look, so it's clear there's a problem, and we're all problem solvers. We're coaches and parents and teachers, and we just care about our kids so much. We want to know what we can do. So we were pretty floored and very unprepared, I would say. So we decided we probably shouldn't go meet with coaches and teachers until we have a good plan, a good strategy to give them. But we learned something really significant that day, and it's changed our approach. Our job wasn't to come in there and tell them about the problem. Our arrival already showed that there was a problem. Our job was to help them do something about it, to be a vehicle for the change. Now, I talk a lot about casual homophobia, and that's a way to say all of the homophobic slurs that don't come out in a fashion where you really have anger. It's just part of the language. That's so gay. Oh, don't be a fag. Whatever. And I think that a lot of the casual homophobia that goes on, specifically in sports, is because there are no big openly gay role models out there where you can put a face on it. There's certainly no openly gay male athletes in any of the major professional sports. And so we all operate under this grand assumption that everyone is straight, that there are no gay athletes. And so when this video came out on ESPN, and then there were a number of related articles that I participated in, it was really important to speak out as a gay athlete and say, we exist. And I certainly was hoping that for the scared, closeted high school version of myself out there, it would be someone that you could look to and say, I'm not alone. And there have been gay athletes before me and after me who've come to share that message. And it's an important message to really give hope to kids who feel often very hopeless. But while it's an important message, I think we need a new approach now. It's not enough just to say, you exist, you're okay, you'll be okay. I think there's something we can do about it, and something that we learned from visiting Northfield Mount Hermon and some of these other schools. We need to empower the teachers and coaches, the students, captains, seniors, team leaders, everyone who helps to decide the environment in the locker room and in schools. We need to give them the tools to make a difference, to really teach them to be aware of the words that they use, to be careful about what they say. Because words can be very hurtful, even if they seem like it's just a joke among close friends. And I think if we all come together and make an effort to stand up against homophobic language, it really will start to make a change. I've been involved with the You Can Play project. Some of you may have heard of it. For those who haven't, so far NHL All-Stars are getting up essentially to say, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, straight, whatever. If you can play, if you can do the things that you need to do on a team and really contribute, you belong. You can play, period. And actually, Northfield Mount Hermon recently made their own contribution, a really beautiful video with a number of student athletes and their athletic director standing up to say, doesn't matter what you are, if you can play, if you want to participate here, you belong at the school, you can play here. And it was really rewarding to know that at least at one school that we visited, our arrival helped to make things better and to open up a dialogue that resulted in these kids who had felt intimidated now feel like they have a safe space. I just want to briefly mention that there are resources out there you can check out. You can play at youcanplayproject.org. The group that I've been sort of going around speaking with is called G-Force, and you can check that out at gforcesports.org. And there's also a resource out there that's very important called the Trevor Project. And all of these are actually anonymous, so if you're concerned about a friend or you just have a question, you can feel safe to reach out. Now, one question I get asked a lot when I'm speaking is about how do you deal with someone who's just not okay with the idea of a gay person or filtering your language for a gay person because they have religious reasons that they don't believe in it. And I try to remind them that your personal or religious beliefs about someone, whether it be because they're gay or really anything else, it shouldn't stop you from treating fellow human beings with respect. It's just not right or fair to use hurtful words that are targeting one person. And especially when what you're criticizing is something that they have no control over. I never asked to be gay. I was never abused as a child or mistreated by my dad. I had a great life. And the one thing that I was afraid of being was me from the beginning. The only choice that I ever had was to live in shame or worse, end my life, or to truly live and love and be me. And I met some smart people along the way who taught me to embrace your true self and really nothing else matters. So if you could take away one message from me being here, I just want it to be this. Don't make any assumptions about your friends and your teammates that when you joke around, everyone's just going to be cool with it. My teammates and friends, they had no idea that the guy sitting next to them was really bothered by all the words that they said and went home and felt bad about himself. And when they found out, they felt so horrible and they just were so apologetic for all the things they had said, but they couldn't take it back once it was out there. And so you just never know who you're hurting. Now, I'm not going to say you should all go out and be big advocates. It's really about when situations you come across that are already facing your daily life, maybe you ask someone not to use that language here, or you ask yourself to sort of think about it a little bit. Or maybe it's not about the specific issue I'm talking about today. I think in a general way, whatever it is, just take a moment to think, is there something that I might be doing a little differently in this situation if I could just find a little courage? And I think you need to believe in yourselves, because being a man is standing up for what's right, and I know that all of you have that courage inside of you. Thank you.